Last time on Dice Fall and Everyone Dies.
Y'all have just finished skinning a direwolf, skinning a couple other wolves, skinning a warg.
Sounds like vengeance isn't really giving us the catharsis that we were expecting.
Taffy was kind of hoping for more catharsis, but it didn't really. Taffy goes up to Warble and hugs her too.
And
Warble
actually,
hugs you
Stano's going to get into her stuff and present the warg head.
Warble looks at it and you see her focusing on it, and she drops the pickle, and then with both of her hands she begins wailing on the head, taking it and just crushing it entirely, slamming both of her fists down upon it.
I was thinking I was just gonna... Not like I'm super helpful or anything. I was just thinking I was gonna leave, or... But we have...
Excuse me?
Welcome back, everyone, to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. I'm your GM, Chris, and this week, I want to jump right into the action as soon as possible. This episode is a bit chunky, so to speak. It's got some length to it. So, if you enjoy the podcast, please leave us a rating and comment on your platform of choice. Spotify folks, you're doing a really good job, because if you happen to listen on Spotify, did you know that we're integrated to your Alexa now? Yes, we're on your Alexa-enabled devices, and I get a squee just listening to Alexa say our show titles. And just so that y'all know, to keep everyone in the loop, we're also working on a few supplemental projects that we just finished lining up some tech and software to make sure that they're going to work right. And so if you're looking for additional ways to support the podcast, hopefully we'll have those up and getting ready soon. Things are in the works. We've got some gears turning. When we last left off from the party, Damos had just dropped a heavy load of information on Stano, and, I think we should see how that plays out,
Yeah. Just kind of staring awkwardly at his feet, and just, doesn't really know how to, look at Stano or anything. It's just really awkward at the moment.
And why are you packing? We're sure to be here for the next few days. We've only just finished the Citadel. We need to find Vaz next.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking I was just gonna... Not like I'm super helpful or anything. I was just thinking I was gonna leave, or... But we have...
Excuse me?
Well, just kind of like, oh no.
You're just going to leave.
Thinking...
You're just going to retreat. Wait. And she's going to step back out of the room, and she is now stomping down these stairs.
He's just left on the bed. I don't know what's going on.
Throws her head around the corner. Taffy, I need your assistance.
Okay. You see her kind of look around, set the mug that she had ordered.
And Stano does not look happy.
Okay. So she follows Stano upstairs.
Go on, Demos. Tell her what you're doing.
Do I have to say this out loud, though?
Yes.
What?
Absolutely. Tell her you're being a coward going back to Cowardland.
Wait.
Cowardland?
You're leaving?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, that's what he told me, that he was leaving.
After everything we've done, everything we've been through so far?
Wow, you guys really don't... Guess not.
Actually, I would never say this to anyone. My people, we roam. We see the world, we adventure. We have to, because otherwise we die. I know not everyone is cut out for that, but I would rather know that you're going to be here when it gets hard than to have you not. So are you staying because you want to, or are you going to leave because you want to? Because either way, it's your choice.
Sorry, Taffy.
I'm scared, don't get me wrong. After everything that just happened, I'm terrified. But we made a promise to the people of this town, and we made promises to each other to stick this thing through.
Am I getting scolded by a dog?
Is that Greaves or Luna?
Well, they're both.
It's both
should
of
be
them.
there. Yeah. Which one is it though?
The lower one is more Greaves.
Oh.
I don't really know how to handle everything that just happened.
I don't either, but I have to take it each step at a time. That's what we all have to do. Stano's blaming herself for something that she could never have guessed.
How do you...
No, you kind of are, Stana.
Don't start.
And I know that I could have done a million other things than what we've done. I've played every scenario that I can think of through my head that could have made that go better. And I blame myself for every one that doesn't work. So I know that there are feelings with that. And I understand if you decide you want to go, but...
No. Stay. He's gonna get up, just kind of walk over and give Taffy a really, really big hug. Kind of have to bend because he's kind of up there. A little taller than her, I think.
At this point, Greaves hits the back part of Demos's knee, toppling him back, and then both of the puppies, Greaves and Luna, are now mauling your face with tongue kisses.
Oh. It's gonna try to get up, like, holding these puppies. Like,
Luna sits on your face.
Oh,
it's
no.
like, no.
Greaves sits on your chest.
Oh, no.
Like, why are they so big?
They're wargs, Deimos.
Well, help me out.
Well, now that we've settled that, what are those terrible things on the bed?
Luna,
What have you done to your pants?
Oh, no. Those pants were like that. They're so, I got them out because I remembered we were going to do our performance thing.
Oh, shit. We do need to get over there.
And, like, they're good performance pants.
They're not pants at all.
Yeah, they're. I mean, they used to be.
They're like short pants.
Yeah, and I have like some really nice sandals. They go up to like just under the shorts.
Is that what you call them? Shorts.
I mean, pants are long and
We don't call pants longs.
they're
goblins
shorts.
Call us Longshanks. Well, you guys.
I don't think you're included in Longshanks, Taffy.
Now that I said it out loud, probably about the same height.
Your shanks are not long. I'm
No.
sorry.
He is going to make a point of getting up and trying to give Sano just kind of like a small hug. It's like, sorry. I shouldn't be so dramatic.
She will accept the hug. She will even give you a small hug back.
Aw.
Both puppies immediately sit, cock their heads to the side, and look as this happens.
But they're called shorts because they are shorter than pants.
I swear to Gorham.
I stitched them up myself. They have a design on the bottom.
Go wipe yourself off so I can get changed.
Wipe myself off.
In the bathhouse. Shoot.
Fine, I'll go bathe. God.
Shoot.
God. Just kind of going to leave with just the shorts.
Did you say they have a design on the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's
juicy?
like no, yeah. No, like on the edge.
Oh no! Now we desperately need pictures of of Deimos in fucking juicy
shorts.
Juicy velour sweatpants. The
But,
boy
like,
thick.
shortened. Like short style.
Oh no! Did they make that? They probably made
I'm
that.
sure they do.
I think they're technically PJs at that point, but yes.
And Stano is going to get ready and go downstairs to basically wait for Deimos with Taffy.
So y'all get your preparations to head over to the Pickled Ear. Warble, Alec, and your kobold friends Pib and Zarf have headed up, and by torchlight, as the rising aspect of the moon comes, they can see the preparations done to bring back the temporary nature of the camp. The horse has the goblin pot there on the side. Warble's riding the horse while Alec is leading.
Pib and Zarf are trotting along to the sides there. And that's the sight that greets Kazalin as they are arriving. Kazalin can see as Alec helps Warble down from horseback, which is already a bit of an odd experience for Warble. But she rushes up, gives Yagi a hug, and they immediately begin heading over to the pyres that are in full raging flame at this point. The goblins have this unusual mix of flute and drum going as they rhythmically keep the beat to the fire. And Alec settles up next to Bread. What is Bread doing while the goblins are going through the morning ceremonies?
He's standing in the back, as he had his right hand on the hilt of his blade, but as soon as he saw Alec coming up, he rested it on top of the back of the blade, or the top of the hilt, and just sort of relaxed his stance and said, "Nice of you to finally be here."
Aw.
That is a bit harsh, Master Kazalin. I was doing as you requested. I would have gladly walked into the mouth of the wargs with you. Tell me, what is it like being amongst the tribes like this?
He pauses, crosses his arms over his chest, and that brings back memories, I guess. So it feels a little like home, but not my home, if that makes sense.
True. You're from Corvosa, yes?
Right.
Tell me, what is it like in Corvosa? The Citadel is close, but we're often confined to Vrade itself, or outranging into the wilderness. We don't often participate in city affairs unless we have a direct order.
Corvosa's stuck in its ways. Political. A little too Cheliax for my taste. The houses there, they smile at one another while holding daggers at their backs.
That is definitely a remnant of Cheliax, but you can make the same claim of most nobility.
That's true.
It's only in places like this that even that sentiment can be expressed.
Well, it just makes me angry to see a town that could be free from those types of things, but is so desperate to please forces and powers that don't even care about, or so far away that their influence doesn't even matter.
From everything that I've been able to observe, Corvosa desperately seeks a model. Something that they can apply a sense of order to all of the challenges that Varisia itself throws at them every single day. If they're inclined as I am, there's things that they can learn from even of the darkest paths, but sometimes you have to learn that there is usefulness even in the most overall distasteful of methods. The measure and the chain care not for what is considered good nor evil, but it gives you a rubric, a sense of order to move through and attain by. Modeling after Cheliax can do the same thing.
Or abandoning the ways altogether and creating your own society works as well.
I can empathize with wanting to create a society of one's own. But society is difficult to make, much less make one from whole cloth. A
Maybe
model is
for
useful.
some, but not for others.
What society would you have, Master Kazalin?
Well, it exists, and well, let's just say that my blood I come from a line of city builders. But all I can do is rot in a prison and swing a blade.
Rot in a prison? Well, you seem to be fairly hale and hearty here. What were you in a prison for?
Cutting a man down who should have been dead a long time ago.
Well, did he violate the law?
Depends on what law you're talking about, but
Well, if you measure a man by the order in the chain, or by the measure in the chain, as a Hell Knight, we met out justice as is by those standards. It's a law that rises above Corvosa. It's a law that rises above Cheliax. It is the law that should be applied to nature and that nature will bend to. So,
only a fool expects nature to bend to them.
well, my order does quite a bit to make sure that that happens every single day. Every monster that falls, every deed like the slaying of the warg that y'all have done today. The order that you've been able to establish here with this tribe. The actions that you've done today have actually brought order to a wilder frontier. You have brought a semblance of peace, vengeance, and restoration to these people here. You help show that they are people. That in and of itself abides by the measure and the chain. So, if you were punished, you may have violated a Corvosan law, which I do not advocate for. But there are different types of laws, different jurisdictions. You could always study the measure and the chain and see if our jurisdiction is appropriate. You are exploring one of our former citadels, after all.
I've paid my price, and it was a just price. So I'm not looking to become anyone's servant or the servant to any laws.
The measure and chain is strict, and it is not for every man. But I can respect that which you do, Master Kazlan. Hopefully we never find ourselves on the opposite sides.
He doesn't say anything. It's silent.
And as y'all stare into the fires as they crackle, the rhythmic beats from the goblins' music, you see Warble moving about the camp, sharing hugs, never quite dancing, but pleased that she is, in her mind, no longer the last of her clan. We'll then zoom out from the camp to Breach Hill. So in Breach Hill, Demos, Stano, and Taffy find themselves finishing up their preparations to head over to the Pickled Ear. So what do y'all plan or have on your agenda for assisting Roxy with the Pickled Ear?
Well, if I recall, Deimos was going to perform music because he's a not annoying bard.
Oh, yeah.
And Taffy was going to cast spells. And Stano was going to stand in the corner and not do anything.
I thought she was gonna do
No.
Fix the table.
Oh,
Well, she can't fix the table now. She ain't got time.
and the arm wrestling. Was
Nope.
that a thing?
Yep.
Not at all.
It wasn't.
Yep.
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Never.
I feel like
She would never.
no.
Nope.
Okay.
She's too noble. Yes, she's going to arm wrestle people.
So y'all head over the following, or a little bit further in the evening. We are well past dusk at this point, probably heading towards 9:30, and y'all head into, as y'all approach the Pickled Ear, you can tell that business appears to be steady, but it doesn't appear to be hopping as much as the Wizard's Grace was. And as you get in, you can tell that the clientele tends to be working class, lower working class folks, several farmers, and they are hitting the mead pretty hard, and most of their eyes are leering back and forth from the girls to the pints, back to the girls, maybe back to the bar a little bit, and then almost any time they're catching eyes across each other, you can see that they're beginning to separate themselves into side groups, cliques along the way.
Stato is not going to enter subtly. She's not going to slam the door open, but it is definitely a she has arrived moment.
So Stano enters in.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone kind of pauses for a quick second, looks. You see a couple people look,
Magic or dancing lights go around Stano.
and a few more people are suddenly awed, and you hear a few whispers. That's the one that nearly... Yeah, that's absolutely... She's here. Dude, you should totally go for your... You think I'm going for a rematch against that one? Just about near broke my arm. It's like, fucking coward, come on. She's just a chick. You were in bad form that day. It was like, motherfucker, I was not in bad form that day. He was not in bad form that day. Dude, did you see what he was doing? Just like, yeah, he was just ripping it out. He's like, she could fucking kick your ass.
Taffy's going
she
to use
definitely could.
prestidigitation. Attention, tavern goers!
Everyone's heads turn.
Stano has come to challenge all holders and kick your asses.
Santa doesn't know what's going on. There's a brief moment where she looks uncomfortable, and then she just tries to look scary.
And then Taffy starts juggling the lights behind her.
Damon's gonna give a strum.
Oh, yes.
Can I get an inspire courage?
Sure. Inspire courage.
Taffy's going to cast guidance as well.
Oh gosh.
So a couple of the girls catch an eye, and one of them runs off towards the back part. And then out comes Roxy.
We're going to rest soon after this, right?
Hope so.
Mirror image. So now they're all juggling.
How many Taffies pop out from Mirror Image?
3.
So 3 versions of Taffy begin juggling. And Roxy comes over. That's right now. Come one, come all. You're going to take on this lovely fair maiden. I can't believe any of y'all have the audacity to think that you could conquer such a vibrant vixen of all people.
Taking all bets.
And our lovely Miss Taffy with the glorious juggling. Oh my goodness, there's various... You didn't know you could draw pictures with that. Pull them in from the outside here for a moment. And Master Damos, kick up your most lively tune.
I was gonna try to get into a position that people can see him and start playing.
And as Damos, give me a perform check.
Okay.
Is Roxy close enough to Stano that she could kind of speak softly to her?
Yes.
17.
So,
She's going to kind of lean over. Sorry for being late. There was an incident.
yes, Alec gave us a quick lowdown. We're glad that you've been able to make time for this. Let's get this kicked off properly. And then
All right.
people begin thumping their feet to what's going on with Damos's rhythm. And a table gets drug over, pulled out from under the couple of the patrons.
Oh, no.
And we sit down, and Stano, having a moment to prepare herself as the challenging entertainment. And then Taffy.
Taffy's just outside the bar calling out just like she did when she came in. And she pops back in to call in inside the bar as well. Just kind of goading people and taking bets.
All right, so with that,
No.
we'll do that based on society. And so we're going to have a couple checks go here. And to sway over the crowd and to satisfy Roxy's requirements for the information, you're going to need 3 additional successes. Now, you already have 1 success with Damos and his music.
Woo.
So we're going to need to get folks in the tavern. And so for that, and with everything that Taffy is doing, we're going to do a society check with your standard bonus +2.
I'm going to use a fate point.
Ooh, a lovely button,
Button,
miss.
sorry.
It's been a while since we've heard from
Taffy.
Medvic.
I have been watching, devouring your sorrow for my sustenance. It's been quite delicious so far.
So it's society +2.
Your society check +2.
So 15, 17.
So with a 17, you're able to get the attention of a lot of the patrons up and down the street and your coloration from your dancing lights is definitely broadcasting and brightening up what would normally be a much more sallow sort of affair, and you're pulling in more than Roxy's standard clientele. But this also has another side effect. As you're calling out the challenges, this has made Stano's challengers somewhat more robust than the normal fare. So, using your athletics
Okay.
in the arm wrestling,
Guidance.
we're going to have an escalating challenge for you.
Oh boy.
I need you to give me an athletics check against the first opponent that comes up. A younger gentleman who has probably had a few too many already, is rosy in his cheeks. And he comes over. Yeah, this one, you're a cute one, aren't you? Don't worry, honey, I'll go easy on you.
Will you know?
Yeah, maybe after I deliver you a handy little defeat here, you and I can go get a drink of our own.
Pull fun to that.
Oh, of course. 21.
So the DC for this one was 10. So you critical this poor bastard. And just as you start, he begins going, and then you just whap immediately. And he's holding his elbow.
That'll be 1 gold piece.
I don't have that kind of money.
Okay. I'll let you go this time. You did get your ass kind of handed to you, so.
Any chance of consolation drink?
She flicks him as copper.
Is he actually any handsome?
No.
No.
Oh. And he turns and moves away. It seems from the whispers before, your next significant challenger is someone that you remember. One of the initial ones that had challenged you back on your very first day in Breach Hill.
Guidance.
Do you really want to do this again?
Sometimes a man has to live up to his buddies.
All right.
I've healed since then. I'm feeling good. And I duly respect my opponents. And he sets in, just like, give it everything you've got. Give it everything you've got. Give it everything you've got. And it begins. What's your athletics?
16.
So this one ends up going back and forth, but you're just able to get it. His DC was 15. And he takes almost like he's about to get it, and he's really putting in a lot more of a fight this time. But then you just begin battling it back, and there's that smile that comes across your face as you know that he is at the end of his constitution, and then you down him, and then everyone's like, yeah! That one was an excellent contest. And so now we find, after a few more similar bouts back and forth, there is one more challenger. This one, brought in by Miss Taffy. She picked out the strongest, handsomest looking gent she could on the street and brought in his whole pack of buddies around.
Can I get another Inspire Courage from Deimos?
Absolutely.
He and his dude bro friends are in. Taffy specifically selected this one.
He's a douche.
Exactly. Thinking that he needs to have his comeuppance.
Humiliate him.
Does he strike Stano as anybody similar back in Cheliax? Like, would she kind of know how to handle a guy like this?
You've seen... Give me a society check.
I'm gonna turn in a button for that.
Thank you, Stano. One more to collect.
Okay, that's much better. 24.
So you know, after dealing with your brother's friends on various occasions,
Which brother? The oldest one?
more than likely, yes,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
that you've handled tougher versions of this one. This one is definitely a townie. One who probably thinks he should have gone to the last Call of Heroes but didn't quite make it in time, because he was probably doing something rather stupid and doesn't actually have his own sword, would have to borrow his dad's sword if he was ever really going to go out on an adventure.
So before he actually sits down, she's gonna look him up and down and just kind of tisk. Just,
Give me an intimidate.
25.
So that is enough to critically intimidate, giving him a -2 to his original DC of 20. So give me an athletics check as y'all square off against each other. DC 18.
Because I know I can do this better. Turn that in.
A second one. Stano's pride is enough to allow me to acquire my buttons over and over. And that's 2 from her today. Now if I could just get more from Deimos.
I'm doing math.
Muff.
You still have guidance.
You have guidance and inspire courage.
18.
18. So you meet the DC. So this one starts off very even beforehand. We'll call him Dude Bro 1.
Dude, bro, 1.
Is initially surprised at exactly how much force you're able to put in. And you'll have this escalating fight go back and forth. As every time you start pressing in at advantage, you see his bicep bulge up a little bit more. You reckon he's about as strong as you. But because he wasn't going with his full force right from the very beginning of it, you end up getting just enough advantage and you bring his hand down and it just boom right there on the table. And his friends are like, oh, and they're dancing around. You just got wet, son. Oh!
Does he look pissed off or does he look kind of like, yeah, okay?
He looks a little turned on.
Huh. Let's see where this goes.
She's going to kind of smirk, and she's also going to kind of like run her finger down the middle of his hand and then get up and walk off.
Oh, please. Let's continue. I want to see where this goes.
Oh, you see that? Oh, did you just see that? Dude, she's totally into you. Like, I don't know if I can handle that. But I want to find out.
Oh, no.
Taffy yells,
You wish,
roll a
buddy.
Constitution save.
You wish, buddy.
He rolls a natural 20 on the
Oh, no. I don't think we actually have Constitution on here.
No, we don't.
It's going to be a Fortitude save?
Yeah, it would be 14.
Oh, well.
And so with all of the hubbub, it seems as though between the cries of joy, the betting going back and forth, a new challenger has arrived for Deimos.
God. Oh, for Deimos.
What?
It seems a rival bard has found their way into
Great.
this establishment.
Do you get your own Inspire Courage?
It does affect the whole party.
There you go.
Sure.
This bard is a bit of a 180 to Deimos. This lovely female bard strides in wearing a dancer's outfit with a mix of the small finger symbols, bells, dressed to the nines, and as she begins starting off to the beat of Deimos' music, she begins entering and changing the rhythm subtly against Deimos' tune. And you find yourself in a combination rhythmic dance-off to lute battle.
I'm imagining Esmeralda from
Yeah.
Back in Notre Dame.
Like a Varisian dancer.
Yeah.
Give me a society check.
Nat 20. That's a 30.
10.
Ask her later.
Taffy recognizes someone who is obviously from Brissia, wearing what you can tell is likely a bladed scarf that has been adorned with bells to hide the glint of the metal, who is obviously of Scarny descent.
Can I roll a
Boy, he in for a challenge.
You wanna- diplomacy check to hang out with her afterwards?
You want to cast guidance on Deimos first?
Guidance.
So with
Oh, fuck. Never mind.
So, Deimos, you have probably the greatest professional challenge you have ever faced suddenly arriving in this bar. In time and in concert with your own rhythms, and subtly changing them their own to a rhythm that you have never actually mastered yourself since you have not actually been up around the Varisians primarily, though you have light exposure from your Andorran practice. The DC for your perform is at a 22.
Jesus.
Ouch. Okay.
What's your plus to performance?
Is there-
10, then
is-
I get courage and guidance, so that's
Yep.
another +2.
So before you roll,
okay.
is there anything that you want to do to challenge this lovely bard who is speaking with her hips more than she is with her words?
Basically, do you want to flirt with her a little bit?
I mean, sure. I don't even know what to do. Shoot.
I can just imagine, that scene in Road to El Dorado, where
Oh, yeah.
Miguel and Tulio are like playing, or which one's? Tulio's the one with the
Yeah.
lute, and he's
Yeah.
like, just has that look on his face.
Waggle your eyebrows a little bit at her. Shake your hips. Show her that you got those booty shorts on.
Heck yes.
Andorans. They're always fun to watch.
If you want to go the booty shorts route, give me a society.
Nice. Juicy shorts.
Okay. 24 for the society.
So you're able to provide some interesting distractions with a garment that she would probably find very useful in her current getup, if in a slightly different fabric. And you're able to bring that down to a 21 DC. So for this first round of challenge, can you bring the rhythm back under your control? Give me your perform.
Oh, heck yes, I can. Hold on. Let me do the math. 28.
You bring the rhythm back under your control, and she has to change up her steps to your rhythm. But then she decides to take a secondary tact and begins bringing all of her assets to bear on the crowd. And she gets the crowd to begin
Oh, boy.
mapping to her steps, flashing the leg, bringing both of her hands above, and executing a wonderful spin. This time, showing that sometimes not actually having shorts on is somewhat more alluring to the crowd, and she begins to pull them. If you need or want to get them back, you need to beat a 23.
Okay. That was a natural 20, so 32.
Boy.
Not giving an inch. You adjust the rhythm and take it up to an even higher tempo to force her spin to go even faster and faster and faster and faster. And I'm going to need so much goddamn musical accompaniment to this part. It's
You
gonna be fucking
are.
crazy. But then she wants to give it one more try, and this one she'll do it a full opposed roll-off. This time, pulling her attention from the crowd, she comes in and begins directly interacting with you. And she is going to attempt to use her own physicality and wiles against your will DC. What is your will DC?
That's 10 plus
10
my-
plus your will save.
So 18.
She comes in, and she is now critically distracting you,
Oh no.
giving you a -2 to your rolls, as well as preventing your own inspired courage. But you can still receive guidance.
Taffy, you want to cast another guidance on him?
Yep.
Okay, so...
You've got to beat now.
Is there any way Stano can like assist or
How would you like to try to assist?
I don't know.
Taffy
Try
casts
to cheer
light
him on.
on Damos's lute. Is that what you're using?
Yeah.
Lyre. Taffy casts light on the lyre.
All right, give me a perform check.
For me?
Yep, give me a DC 15.
With my spell DC? Or no, just perform, right?
Yeah, perform.
So that's 16.
Excellent. So that is going to be able to give Damos a +1.
Yeah, I don't know what Stano would do at this point. So.
In addition to the guidance, so +2.
Yep. So.
Oh, Stano could start.
So +2, -2.
Is there a way she could
Yep.
see if she could get the crowd to start clapping along with Damos's rhythm?
How would you like to approach it?
I don't know.
Start
Just
clapping.
start.
Diplomacy.
Okay, yeah, she's got that. 22.
So, hyping the crowd up to Damos's performance, you're going to get a net +1 in total once you take into account the dancers' display, Taffy's assistance, and Steno's assistance.
Basically, her titties are out, man. Keep strumming.
Hand of that button.
Yes! Thank you, Damos. Did you know that
Natural 20, 31.
That's a fast way to shut Medvic up right there. Keeping in mind the method and style of the dance, this lovely Scarny bard has tried everything. A change in the rhythm, the movement of her hips, pulling in the crowd, but Damos has matched her movement for movement. The crowd is pumped. Everyone is on their feet, stamping to the rhythm. But Damos's melody captures all, and it gets to a point of where there is a solo so powerful, the entire bar goes into full silence. And in that silence, Damos finishes with a final flourish, showing that not only can he match the movements of the Scarny dancer, he can do it while playing the lyre, keeping perfect rhythm, absolute pitch-perfect melody. And at the very end of it, as he finishes that part of the tune, you can see that there's just this little tear rolling down Roxy's face, and everyone breaks into a thunderous applause.
Oh, Freeber.
The lovely Scarny bard takes a bow and then begins moving out and amongst the crowd. And Roxy, moved to literal tears at this point, doesn't quite clap Damos on the back, but definitely claps Stano on the back for showing that girl power definitely exists.
Oh, yeah.
And that you don't just have to be a female to be able to rock your hips.
It's those booty
those
shorts. Are those now +1 booty shorts?
It seems that way for social encounters for sure. Ooh-wee, I've never seen someone be able to play and dance like that. Tell me, Damos, how often can I have you around here? If I get performances like that every night, I can see why we can listen to you for 36 hours straight.
Well, we definitely have other things to do, but I'd love to come back and play some more.
Well, a deal is a deal. Here, why don't we have well, I need you to perform for a little bit more. It is still right and rowdy going. It's probably close to midnight here. Still a little ways from closing time. Do y'all want to wait till closing time and then we can take care of our business? A deal is a deal.
Yes.
Of course.
So, at the end of the night, it goes on a little bit longer, especially consider the party wants to continue going on between the dancer and the lyrist working together in tandem.
Stano might buy that guy a drink.
He is very enthused to have that drink. But he cannot get over his words whatsoever. And you can tell that he is definitely Chowdy material.
Is he good? Is he gonna survive?
On a natural 1, not compared to
Oh boy.
not compared to the game that Stano is used to. This poor lad has no game, but he does have rippling muscles. If Stano wants him, she can have him.
Probably not. Probably not this go around. She thought he'd be a little bit more on her level.
Oh, he was. His friends are not helping.
No.
They have rubbed it in.
Every time she comes over to talk to him, they're just like, oh!
Very much so. But
Oh, boy.
once things begin calming down and the girls begin putting up the chairs, everyone is out the door, you'll have an opportunity to talk with Roxy. Still kind of busy cleaning stuff up. She seems to have full confidence in her girls that are out here. Well, a deal is a deal. Now tell me, what would you like to know about Miss Vos Lorraine?
Well, first off, did you know she built a tunnel under your bar?
Built is a bit of a strong word. I think she discovered that it was there. She came to me one evening with a fairly substantial coin purse and informed and discovered that there was a tunnel that led out from my establishment. Now, when I purchased it, I knew we had a basement, and I knew that there was something akin to a sub-basement, but we didn't necessarily know that there was a tunnel leading out from it. It's fine by me if someone wants to tell me that I have access to additional real estate while also handing me a large stack of coin. And so, she asked for some comings and goings, and I allowed her passage through my establishment.
Only her? There was nobody else with her?
No, she was always finding herself to be a bit of a secretive sort. Always into those weird magics.
She never brought the halfling with her, did she?
Calmont? Oh, Lord, no. She couldn't trust Calmont as far as she could throw him. She could throw him surprisingly far, but it's impolite to throw a halfling, just like it's impolite to throw a dwarf.
Santa's going to... She's going to look like she's about to say something, and then she's not going to say it. She's going to think better of herself.
No, but she always had this unusual scent coming about. Always a sweet, sickly smell associated with it. It's always part of those weird magics, and always covered in a fine white dust. But she would come and go periodically. The last time, she had headed out in quite a bit of a hurry.
When was that?
Oh, dearie me. She looks up kind of away. I suppose it's not too far before y'all arrived. She seemed to be quite in a hurry. I guess probably 4 or 5 days ago.
But nobody has seen her since.
Definitely not here. I have heard some unusual rumors, though. It's hard to tell where the rumors coming around here. As you can tell, they are a boisterous sort out there.
Of course.
Easy to rile, very tall to tell. Most of them think they're much better with their arms than they really do tend to be, but they come telling unusual stories. Something about raiders in the countryside, not like the goblin raiders from the old Goblin Blood Wars, but more akin to being either accosted by mercenaries or, oddly enough, coming across dug-up aspects of their fields, places where families would be laying to rest. It's unusual to have that coming from farmers, but with all the troubles that run out here to the east of everything, especially east of the river, we are very worried about the undead. The guard has been, well, they're always making sure that the borders are taken care of. I worry for the farmers out there.
So the graves have been disturbed.
That's what they're saying, but you never know when it happens to be wolves.
That does sound unusual for wolves, though. That sounds more like necromancy.
That's all weird mumbo-jumbo to me, sweetie.
Death magic, essentially.
I can understand it, but I have no real grasp of concept of how that all comes together.
It's definitely something to look into. We're definitely looking for Miss Lorraine. There are a lot of questions for her at this point.
Well, she definitely didn't spend time building a tunnel. There was no earth moved or rumbling or any old thing along them lines. Plus, if you're going to be using weird and strange magics or death magic, it doesn't seem like an earth moving type sort of thing. But again, magic's not my specialty.
How long have you had this establishment?
Oh, goodness. Mostly since my husband died. It's the only way we've been able to keep and establish ourselves as long as I can keep Basandi off my ass.
The Basandis?
Yeah, they're the closest thing we have to a moneylender in town, and Well, just because they are quite good with their stonemason business, it means that they have the, as he likes to say, capital to take care of things.
So how long ago was it that your husband passed?
She gets a kind of a far-off look. Oh, goodness. I suppose my eldest was 3 or 4 at the time. It's been hard, for sure. But with the help of the girls in the area, we've banded together and we've got a nice establishment here going. So probably about 3 winters now.
Well, we'll definitely have to talk to those Pasandis. Okay. I think that's... I can't think of anything else to ask at this point.
Now, if you go dealing around with them Pasandis, you gotta be careful, honey. They're sharp as a whip.
Oh, don't worry. Coming from Cheliax, I'm quite used to people like that. Do you know if they're followers of Abadar?
You know, he is real casual about how he talks about religion. We never catch him up at the Temple of Shaylin nor at the Temple of Disna. And considering he has to be a part of the guild, he spends very little time out there at Shaylin's Grace.
That's interesting. Most moneylenders I know are followers of Abadar.
Well, I can't speak to no one else's religion. I personally like to find myself at the Temple of Desna. Do you know they happen to have some of the most delightful exhibitions, especially when we start taking a look at the observatory they've got set up there. They do these things where they start showing all of the beautiful constellations.
Well, it does sound like a Temple of Desna, of course. But we will definitely go ahead and look into both the raiders and the Pasandis. But thank you. Thank you very much.
No, honey, thank y'all. And if you ever want to come back and play, you are more than welcome. Come show these rough and rowdy boys that they're not quite as big shit as they think they are.
They're definitely one of a kind, although I believe their kind may be prevalent around here.
You mean good old boys who never got a good old bit of sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds like my clientele. Hopefully I'll get more of them inner city boys running around here. The ones that be running around Monument Circle all the time, thinking that it's a fine thing to lift up a few stones to place down.
What?
Well, you see, the more steady a job they have, the more coin they have. And the more coin they have, the more they can afford our pickled ears and drinks. And so we get more in with more avid and luxurious coin to spend. The greater I can get Mr. Pasandi off my fucking back, honey.
Well,
and the sooner he's off my back, the sooner I can make sure that my kids get an opportunity to really make something of themselves, don't you hear?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a never-ending cycle. Gotta get out of that debt first, though.
Of course. Stano has no idea how to react to this. She has never been in debt.
You look confused, honey. You ain't never had one on your back before for something you owe?
No, Miss Den. I can't say that I have.
Oh, honey, it is not something I recommend to anyone if you can avoid it. But when you have your husband go suddenly, and we don't have anything other than what you got saved up when something like that happens, you gotta find something to make do.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Pasandi came in with this idea of lending that was... Well, it's not like when you come together as a community and you all build something together. We do different sorts of bond raisings, and you can hear all sorts of hubbub from my clients about that. And they come together and help each other out, mutual and effective with each other. But sometimes you need a little bit more than just raising up an establishment up here, or even on the outskirts of town. You need to have a little bit more, and it takes coin to get everything up and running properly. It takes a lot of money to put together all of these pickled ears.
Of course.
Especially after those 2 little kobolds be running through.
Oh.
But they do have excellent taste.
They do. I'm sorry. We did... I believed that they were with Miss Adaxi, but...
Well, see, after y'all left that time, we end up going back down to settle things up, and then we find them in with these big old paunch bellies. And I swear they'd gone through 5 or 6 different jars of full pickled material. Pickled ears, pickled hog's feet, pickled hog's noses. I mean, all sorts of material. And plus, you know, they even had a spilled open jar of, oh goodness, what on earth? They were just finishing into the pickled eggs, too.
Oh no.
And you never understand exactly how odorous a kobold can be until they've consumed a half a jar of pickled eggs. It was very strange.
I bet it was.
They definitely have a mind of their own.
But then when they get up, they start acting cute as buttons in the process of it. They said it was how was the way that little bitty Zoff put it? He said it was the tribute to a mighty dragon. And I didn't quite think kobolds thought themselves as dragons, but, to each their own, right, honey?
Pip and Zoff definitely think they're dragons. I'm not sure if they fully understand the difference, but...
Well, hopefully they never have an opportunity to learn.
I hope not.
But they're fine. Everything that Miss Odaxi left with her gold covered that quite a bit before, and then... Oh, that dreamy Alec came in, too. That is a tall hunk of man. I can't wait. I wonder what he looks like in leather pants.
Deimos is going to wander up right behind Sato at this point. He's like, oh, it's nice.
Those aren't leather pants, but those shorts aren't too bad. Any chance you can make a couple extra pairs? I know there's something that Finny can do with them.
I can certainly show him how I made them.
If you can give me some of the information on that, I think we can get... Oh, even better, if you got the pattern for those, I can share those with Mr. Finney, and he will be able to get my girls a set of those.
Are you essentially making Hooters?
What's Hooters?
No wings yet.
The pickled ear version of Hooters.
They have wings. They use every part of the chicken.
Buffalo wings have not been invented yet, though.
It's a kind of wings. I mean, come on. They're birds. They eat them. They get wings. They eat them.
Okay.
There you go.
Caslin desperately wants there to be buffalo wings in this world.
He's really more of a honey barbecue
Is
type.
he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Honey is still not prevalent to find unless you've actually got someone who's operating a beekeeping setup.
I think the barbecue is probably more of the flavor that probably doesn't exist in this time.
Oh, Katapesh knows quite a bit about spices.
That's where you get your fucking buffalo sauce from.
Pretty much.
Oh, now I want buffalo wings, y'all.
Right.
So is there anything else you'd like to ask Roxy?
No, I can't think of anything. Check out some raiders. Check out the Psandis. Maybe intimidate them into leaving Roxy Den alone because Stato has the innate urge to protect this woman.
So with that, it's probably about 2 a.m. and y'all are able to head back to the Wizard's Grace to bed down. Is there anything y'all wanted to do before y'all headed back to the Wizard's Grace for the evening?
Stato's actually going to go up towards the Goblin camp and basically let them know that everything's good, see if they want to come back to the Wizard's Grace and sleep.
Okay,
I don't know if Deimos and Taffy are just going to head back to sleep.
Yeah, Taffy's gonna head to bed. She's exhausted.
He's definitely coming with Sano at the moment. He doesn't want to inherently lose.
Oh, and now all the goblins can see see Deimos in his booty short.
Yes.
Oh.
So Taffy heads back to the Wizard's Grace, and as y'all are heading out from the town gates, the guards look kind of weirded out that y'all are heading out. Where are y'all going?
We're going up to meet the rest of our party.
Can you even see?
Deimos, will you be a darling and cast light?
Let's go to Castlight.
Well, be safe.
Mm-hmm.
There's ruffians about, and this is as far as we can extend our protection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you in armor?
No. She's just very confident.
Well, you be careful, miss. And he takes a moment. He has to cock his head because Deimos has this interplay of in his full bard getup because he's got solidly attractive legs and he with the short shorts.
The short shorts and the long thigh hugging gladiator
I can
sandals.
feel things.
Mm-hmm.
Feel
And he-
different kind of things.
He kind of cocks his head a little bit. And sir,
Yes.
be safe.
You gonna give him a wink?
Yeah. I'll be great.
He shifts kind of uncomfortably in his guard's chain. And as y'all head up, it appears Kazlin, what time in the watch do you want to take?
He's gonna just kind of stay up as long as he can. I'm sure the goblins are doing their thing with the watch, but he's gonna just stay up.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really in a sleeping mood right now.
Alec stayed up until probably 10, 11 or so, and he has bedded down utilizing Taffy's tent while you were taking the later watch.
So his legs like flopped out of the
Well,
tent.
she has like a normal sized tent, which is plenty of space
So
for
it's
her.
huge for her.
Yeah.
I was just imagining like the tent just covering up this midsection, and his head is like out.
Oh, like that scene in fucking Emperor's New Groove. Yeah.
While similar, his feet are poking out
Oh.
on the end of it there. And the goblins have, as you're approaching, you can see that there's multiple pyres going. And you can see that they're, in the chatter of the goblins, are continuously bringing fire to keep the pyres going at this point. As you approach, you are first stopped by a couple of scouts, but then they recognize quickly who y'all are, and one of them comes and escorts you to the main part of the camp. They've definitely stepped up security in this area. From what you can tell, once the scouts and the warriors are together, that it doesn't appear all of the women and children were taken out at that point, that more have come in and joined. The clan has probably been reduced to about half strength, if you assume that what you're seeing now is the totality in their number. And you see Kazlin off to the side being lit by the flickering of the flames, and kind of sitting, her knees up to her chest, her hands wrapped around,
Wait.
is Warble.
Oh.
He's just kind of looking at the fire. She's got her little hat sit down and kind of in front of her in her robes, and she's just kind of looking forward at it, keeping her own little personal vigil over where Helba's pyre is burning. What do you want to do as you approach?
We're gonna kind of hail Kazlin. The evening went well. We didn't know if you wanted an escort back to the Wizard's Grace. Is that Alec?
That's totally Alec. He snores a little bit.
I see that he is fallen asleep.
I don't think there's any need to go back tonight. We'll be fine.
If you're sure. Perhaps we should wake him and take him.
Seems to be doing okay now.
It's fairies. I'm gonna jab his foot a little.
Demos. That's impolite.
Oh, and you see him kind of scramble out. He actually tried going to sleep in his armor. He wanted to be fully prepared to bounce up.
Bud.
Something happened.
No, you're fine.
No, Demos is just being
Are
rude.
those... What on earth are you wearing?
He calls them shorts.
Shorts?
As opposed to
They're short.
longs, which are apparently what normal people wear.
They're shorter than pants, so they're shorts. I made them. Thank you.
It's canon.
Oh, aren't you cold?
I'm getting that way.
I can tell.
We came to see if
As he then stands up.
we came to
You can
see if either of you
tell.
would like an escort back to the Wizard's Grace.
Oh, I would love to have a moonlit walk with you, my lady.
Oh my god.
Of course.
Shall we have Master Caslin? Are you going to come with?
No, you'll have fun.
I wasn't snoring, was I? I feel like I might have been snoring.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you're snoring.
Ah. Oh. Well,
It's okay.
I didn't
It's
think to
kind of
bring a
endearing.
pillow.
It's all right. Anyway, he's just kind of going to walk forward without addressing that he just said that. He's like, God, you're an idiot. To himself.
Well, if that's the case then. Master Caslin, will we see you in the moor?
Yeah, he looks up to see kind of where the stars are and I guess sort of gauging what time it is. He says, yeah, just a few more hours.
Is there a little bit of distance between where Deimos is and where Stano and the rest of them are?
Deimos has walked off at least like 10, 20 feet.
We've already had one party member attempt to leave. Please don't make it a second. We value your assistance, Caslin. It would be at our detriment if you left.
He just nods
He didn't rub it in, and she's pleased.
and turns away towards the fire or whatever.
Alec extends his elbow to Stano.
Yeah, okay, she'll take it.
And then he just kind of begins stepping forward.
Yep.
It's one of those things where he was just like, wait. Oh, I forgot to bring a torch. How are we going to get...
Deimos has light cast.
He just comes running back. I got light.
Excellent. Alec extends his other arm to Deimos.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Wait, is that really what's happening?
Taffy
Oh,
suddenly
boy.
doesn't know why, but she's suddenly very grateful she did not go.
Taffy's just rolling her eyes to herself. She doesn't know what's going on.
Like, whatever they're doing up there, it's stupid.
'Tis the best way to keep light on either side. This way I can protect both of you.
How does Stano feel about being protected?
She's gonna kind of do a thinking to herself more. She's like, I don't really need anyone else to protect me, but she's not gonna say anything. That'd be rude. She's noble, not rude. Zach, looks don't translate.
Oh no, that wasn't for the camera. There's not a camera.
No, there's not a camera.
I was not looking into the microphone.
You were not looking into the microphone?
No.
Okay, most of us don't look into the microphone.
I mean, sometimes.
I can see stars.
You can see where.
I can see foam.
Yeah, I pretty much just see
Sea foam.
But
So y'all make it back under the light of the stars and the moon. As you enter back into the town, the guards are not quite surprised to see y'all back relatively soon, but one of them seems fairly relieved that no harm came to y'all. She's like, oh,
Was
good,
it the
they
one
came
that was
back.
interested in Deimos' shorts?
Might have been, you could tell he was mildly uncomfortable from the
Oh,
exchange,
just uncomfortable?
but he does have a nice smile when Deimos walks by.
Does he check Deimos out?
Give me a perception check.
Am I wingmanning this guy?
ooh, I'm going to do a perception check too because Deimos wants to know.
Deimos wants to know if he's being checked out.
There's a reason. 21.
16.
So, both of y'all catch that there's a glance that's there, but it's Deimos with his hearing from his elfin heritage, where he just kind of hears those look really comfortable.
Damn.
Deimos going to kind of like woggle his eyebrows and go, yee.
So, it is now probably 3 a.m. Y'all make it back to the Wizard's Grace. Taffy is asleep. About this point, Bread, when he's comfortable, has made sure that the Goblin Watch is good and finds himself a defensible spot to rest in. Alec escorts both Demos and Stano up to their room, does kind of a short, shallow bow, and then, knowing that it's 3 a.m. in the morning and he's also been in armor and half asleep at this point too, moves off towards his part of the room relatively silently.
Oh,
He makes a little bit of noise, but it's not like clomping around in armor. And so y'all now can bed down. 8 hours later, y'all are back up and rested. Now you do find yourselves coming up at about lunch. When y'all wake up, you have an opportunity to get all your spells back, get your spells switched around and prepared. How is everyone feeling at this point, now a day after all of the materials done? And before we get into that, I do need the training rolls
oh yeah.
for the puppies.
That's nature, isn't it?
Yes. Handle animal.
Guidance on myself. 19.
Sorry, I'm doing math and I've totally forgotten how numbers work. 17.
So, Luna is coming into her training well. It doesn't seem like Greaves has adapted well to not waking up the exact same time each day. And so Greaves is giving you a little bit of resistance in the training. But the training continues. Dun 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 dun.
Well, you have good days, you have bad days.
Give Grease all the snuggles.
So y'all have an opportunity to do any shopping and perusing around to equip and regear. You're ticked one more day onto anything that you might have presently going on in crafting. You'll have about the majority of this day, and it fairly carries on fairly placidly. It's one of the few times that y'all have had something not nipping directly at your heels. And especially considering you have about half a day here. Is there anything in particular that y'all like to have accomplished?
Stanton's gonna go check at Buskers.
And Fred?
Okay. Kazalin is going to walk to the edge of the path to where, kind of right where the camp is. He's going to turn around and give like a short wave to the goblins. He's going to turn right back around towards the path. He's going to bend down on his hands and and then take a position and then just book it down to town. Just fucking fast. Just like his stuff is just.
Is he like Naruto running?
Blasted. He's blasted. He's gone. He's
Oh
gone.
my
With,
god!
like, dust.
Oh my god, buddy!
The goblins
So-
are standing there like, what the fuck?
Is that an acrobatics check?
That is straight up athletics. Give me an athletics for how awesome you make this.
Okay.
Is he fucking Naruto running into fucking town?
Just in case.
Yes, give me a button for excellence. This is my 5th one declaimed today. I feel productive.
Much better.
That is a 19.
So with your 19, you're literally kicking up dust
Oh my
as you're running through. And as you're heading out of sight from the camp, Yagi kind of looks over. I knew they were fast, but they're really that fast? Like, "Oh, long shakes, long legs, they run quick." And as you're going through, the guards watching you book it down the path, they're like, "There's a dude running." Like, you hear that.
Don't forget all of his gear.
His halberd.
Like, I haven't had to run that hard since basic. What on earth is... I think we should have stopped him. As you then are now clank, 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 clop, 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 down, and you get to the Wizard's Grace, and you just do this hard shh to the end, and you stop right in front of the Grace.
Did any of us see that?
There are people who saw it. It wasn't y'all.
Oh god. What the fuck, Caslin?
One of the apprentices who did see it was coming around. Damn! Isn't that gear heavy?
He doesn't say anything, but he just reaches down towards like his legs and very nobly sort of just like wipes off the dust. Just sort of off his shoulders and walks inside.
Wait, before you do that, the little kid hands you a cloth. Just like, one of these days I'd like to be the that fast?
You already are that fast as long as you believe.
Oh man.
And so as y'all are getting in for lunch, you see Caslin enter in, and in the door you just see these huge eyes of one of the apprentices of the Wizard's Grace, and just this doe-eyed expression of amazement.
And this is what we see?
That's what y'all see as Caslin's entering into the Grace.
Stato's gonna lean. Is Stagrim out?
Stagrim is awake, yes.
Stato's gonna lean towards him. It's like he's never seen a ranger before.
He definitely would have had to have seen a ranger before. That's the kind of look I see on someone's face after they've just seen one of us lop off the head of a devil or a demon. That's the look of amazement.
Interesting.
Does he do amazing things?
He amazingly catches tables to the face. I don't know if Caslin heard that or not.
No, he walks up to the group. Another day, another broken heart.
What?
Never mind.
What hearts
Are you breaking the hearts of small children? What is wrong?
They'll just never understand.
What?
He's just being intentionally
Caslin-
cryptic. I give up.
I need to know what family you're from so I can understand your ridiculousness.
We're all family.
No, we are
In the
not.
eyes of Desna.
No, we're not. Don't
God,
start.
no.
Do not. You
I don't
sound.
want to be related to
You
you.
sound like one of the sisters of Irenaeus. I swear to Gorum.
You know, they really have been stepping up the recruitment game in the orphanages.
I don't.
Do you know that they have a major set of stations here in Iska? Some of the finest recruits that go into the Hell Knights have been coming from those orphanages.
That's a really morbid place to get.
Well, you raise them young into the ideals of law, and it's much easier to prevent them from
The
running
thing
off
is,
and joining
the thing
the
is,
Firebrands.
all of the children they have, not all of them are orphans. And I know this because they've offered to take my youngest sister before, and it's just, I don't.
Indoctrinate the young. That's how you know that that's an evil society. This is not
Caslin,
Kathy saying this. Kathy's
Caslin,
upstairs still.
I need to know who I need to write about how.
Ridiculous he is?
Yes.
I don't think there's anybody who.
Should I just address it to the Queen of Corvosa?
You could try. I don't think you'd get very far, but
Probably not.
no. But there's nobody who would care to read those letters. Let me
That's-
tell you.
Okay.
Okay, Edgy.
I'm concerned.
So as Caslin joins up, did you want to take the whole party with you over to Vuskers?
I mean, they can come.
So you begin heading over to Vuskers. This stretch of town is getting used to y'all's antics up and down at this point. Y'all have passed by quite a bit. You get a few waves. As y'all pass Le Mans Lament, you see a couple of the girls, and you can tell that they're obvious young ones. They give y'all a couple waves, as well as they're beginning to do head off towards.
Is Stanos Towny guy around?
No, he is off more towards work that's heading south of Monument Circle.
Mhm.
And you're heading over to Vusker's Carts and Wheels. And as you head in, you see the short office. There's really only room for like one or two of y'all in there. And initially when you head in, the office itself doesn't have anyone directly in the main part of the office.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of waiting. There is a bell on the counter.
She'll hit it lightly. She's not rude. She's not gonna like bang it.
And one of the clerks comes up. You vaguely recognize him. Let's see if he's one of the ones that you dealt with before. This one you vaguely remember by the name of Fadelby.
Fadelby?
Fadelby.
Okay.
Fadelby Vusker. Oh! Howdy, Miss Amdamal. It's a pleasure to have you in. You actually just saved me the trouble. I have to deliver to you some unfortunate news. It seems as though we heard word that one of our cots has been waylaid by some... there's no other way to say it. Waylaid by some brigands, and my understanding is that some of your correspondence was in that said. We haven't yet had an opportunity to send an individual out to check and see the premises. We just got in a little bit of word. They have been late by about 2 days or so now.
Correspondence from where?
Well, from my understanding, at least from where we received the message from the initial sending, you did pay quite handsomely to make sure that your correspondence was well taken care of. Now, it seems it is the one from... it was the one we were worried about coming from Nidal, ma'am.
Where are they?
From my understanding, out and across the road, ma'am. It may be about half a day's journey from here.
Has everybody come with her? Is she on her own?
I'm with her.
Taffy's still at the tavern, or the Wizard's Grace.
I'm with.
Alec would have come along.
I will go there immediately. I will go put on my armor, and then I will go. Do you know specifically whereabouts?
I believe it's just a little bit to the east of here, ma'am. We'll be definitely delighted to know what has come of it. Hopefully it is not actually brigands. But it is definitely delayed, though we do believe it's been waylaid.
They will be handled quite quickly. Trust me.